Hi, I'm Nikita from PlantsNotPlastic. I create delicious, inexpensive, simple, and healthy recipes that you can recreate in your own kitchen. I want to try something new. I figure that along with giving you guys some recipes, I also want to give you kitchen tips. So this time I would like to show you how to cut and store peppers. To give some context, peppers are ranked in terms of their heat on the Scoville scale, bell peppers being at the very bottom of that scale. I have a variety of different levels of heat here. I would say that when you're getting into cutting some of the hotter peppers, like our little orange friends here, sounds like I'm talking about Oompa Loompas. I would recommend wearing gloves, otherwise you're gonna end up with the oils on your hands. If you're not using gloves, definitely be careful not to touch your face, rub your eyes, or if you're a guy, definitely don't touch your... Learning how to cut peppers is definitely important because they are a great ingredient to add to recipes to add good flavor or add a kick, like a ninja. Bring back Joe Rogan. To show you how to cut these, I'm gonna start with the Anaheims and work my way up to the Habaneros. So you wanna start by cutting off the top of the pepper, getting as close to the stem as possible so that you keep as much of the pepper as you can. And then you'll just get rid of the stem. Anaheims will always have 2 or 3 ribs that hold the pith in place, which is the center part that has the seeds. So you wanna look and find one of those ribs and take your knife and cut from the top to the tip of the pepper. What you'll be left with is a really nice piece of your Anaheim, and then the second piece, which will have the entire pith, you just grab it and pull the entire thing out, and then you'll be left with 2 really nice pieces of Anaheim that you can cut into strips and dice. A lot of people think that the spiciness of pepper comes from the seeds, but it actually comes from the pith and the ribs. There's a chemical compound in it called capsaicin. The seeds themselves will be coated in capsaicin. I tend to keep them in recipes. The only reason to really get rid of the seeds is a texture thing. If you're making recipes where you need like a creamy, smooth sauce, you would get rid of them. Otherwise, they're fine to leave in. They're totally edible. The pith is edible as well, but it is going to add a slight bitterness to your recipes, so you'll really have to weigh whether or not you want more spice with a little bit of that bitterness or not. So if you want to keep the seeds, I would say get a little container. You want to start at the bottom of the pith and you'll use your thumb and just press it along and it'll get all of those seeds off. And then I'm just going to clean up the inside of the peppers from the seeds before I cut them. Okay, then you're just going to take your knife and cut little strips lengthwise. And then you'll gather them together and give them a quick chop the other way. Next we'll do the jalapeno. Again, you'll just cut off the top first. Get rid of the stem. And then you'll kind of balance it on its side and cut it in half. For this one, I'm gonna keep the pith and the seeds in the pepper as I cut it. I'm gonna cut about 3 or 4 strips lengthwise, and then again, flip it the other direction and give it a quick chop. Next we'll do the Serrano. It's going to be very similar to the jalapeno, where again you'll cut off the top and cut it lengthwise first. Then you'll cut each half once down the center. And then you'll just give it a fine chop. Next, we're gonna do the habanero. I'm gonna do it without gloves, which I do not advise, so do as I say, not as I do. You're, again, gonna cut the top off of it, cut it in half lengthwise, cut it into little strips, and then what you'll actually wanna do is put a little bit of salt over the top of it, which will keep the oils in the pepper rather than bleeding onto the chopping board, and then you'll give it a good mince. Once you're done, you'll want to wash your hands and the cutting board as quickly as possible with soap and warm water. You can also rinse your hands with a little bit of lemon juice to help get the oil off your hands. Chopped peppers will last for about 2 to 3 days in the fridge, where whole peppers will last for up to 3 weeks. Though I would say that I typically only buy what I need for recipes, and they'll sit out on the counter for a day or two whole before I cut them up and use them. That's it for today. If you do try any of these methods, please let me know in the comments. Let me know how it works out for you. If you attempt the habanero, let me know that too. If you found this kitchen tips video useful, let me know if there are other kitchen tips that you would like to see from me. If you like this video, please do subscribe and click the bell to get notifications when I put out new content. You can also subscribe to my website at PlantsNotPlastic.com, as well as follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. All of that information is detailed below in the description. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye. My hand's like very slightly warm, just on the fingertips.